Considered the greatest 2 minutes in sports, tomorrow is the 145th running of the Kentucky Derby. And each year, almost 120,000 mint juleps are served over the 2-day period of Kentucky Oaks and Kentucky Derby weekend at Churchill Downs Racetrack. Joining us now, Dr. Michael Foley, author of Drinking with the Saints, The Sinner's Guide to a Holy Happy Hour. And you've got lots of recipes in here, and I
do.
Bet there's a mint julep.
We have an excellent mint julep recipe. We've got the classic in honor of the Kentucky Derby, and I'm ready to make it.
So, while you're making it, what's the history behind the julep, the term julep, which is kind of weird, J-U-L-E-P?
It is. It's apparently a Persian word for rose water, and it was used to signify a sweet drink in which medicine was administered.
Okay, so for medicinal purposes, we will see how to make a mint julep, and going to be sugar in it, I see that.
That's right. So the first time a mint julep was ever mentioned was in 1784, and it was used as a remedy for stomach ailments. So I don't know if that's actually good advice or not, but it is a delicious drink.
Okay, so not a lot of ingredients, really.
Very simple: crushed ice, bourbon, sugar, and mint.
All right, and I brought a little mint from my garden here for decoration.
Yeah.
But you brought, obviously,
I brought some as well, though your garden
mint.
seems a little healthier than mine, but you just use 4 large leaves, or in my case, I got small leaves. So you start with some leaves, and you put those in the bottom. You add a teaspoon of sugar.
Kind of like the teaspoon of sugar makes the medicine go down?
That's exactly right.
All right.
And then you muddle the sugar. So this is a muddler. There are many different designs.
All right.
The idea of muddling is you crush the mint, mix it with the sugar, and it releases the essential oils. You can also use simple syrup, which is equal parts sugar and water. That actually does disseminate the sweetness a little better in the drink, but the original recipe calls just for granular sugar.
All right.
So you finish that. Now you add crushed ice, which we have crushed ahead of time.
Yeah, you brought your tools of the trade for that.
I
It's
did.
A canvas bag and a mallet.
To make your own crushed ice, you can use a canvas bag called a Lewis bag. My children made this one for me.
Cute.
And we also made this special mallet. It doesn't need to be this dramatic. But
okay. All right. And there's a special trick to the libation that goes in.
So the crushed ice is added, then the bourbon, and actually I'm going to add a little more crushed ice. The idea is that you're supposed to stir until the julep cup becomes frosty. And you can already see that it's starting to frost up. So a special cup you need to use for the julep. You can. This is called a julep cup. It's a silver or pewter cup. But if you don't have that, the traditional highball works just as well. So then you stir, get it cold, and then you add even more crushed ice. All right. Traditional Southern drink for sure. Exactly. And a particular bourbon you need to use? The Kentucky Derby used to use early times. Now they use Old Forester, but really it's personal taste. I recommend not using a top shelf bourbon, just mid-level.
Perfect.
But there you go.
Ready for the Kentucky Derby. Thank you, Dr. Foley, as always.